All right, well, this was great. Let me try to do my best to recapture some of the great thoughts that we had here today. We talked about progress, and a couple words I wrote down is it's a journey. We've been on a journey, and it's continuing, and we're moving. The other things that resonated with me were consumption-based. We're moving, I think Luke brought it up, move to consumption-based models. And I heard containers brought up in open source and being in a position to where you're not locking yourself in and you're able to have flexibility to do different things down the road as we move forward. When we talked about cloud and managed service, to me it was sort of like of course. Of course we're going to do virtualization. Of course we're going to do managed services. Of course we're going to have hybrid clouds and have certain things that will be in a hybrid environment. We're not just going to move stuff as is into another building. We really haven't accomplished anything if we're doing that. Let's modernize as we move along. Lessons learned, a lot of things bounced around there. What came up to me right away was definitions. I mean, just a definition of data center and definition of some of the things we're doing in creating the understanding. And someone brought up the point that you really need to understand and get across to the organization why we are doing this. You know, people have to understand why, because you need stakeholder buy-in. And you're only going to get that stakeholder buy-in if you really drive that understanding. I heard smart computing coming up as, I think it was Luke brought it up. The term smart computing is a term that we need to begin to think about as we think about these things. And I heard that you need to get the right people involved. We have a depth issue, and you got to have the right people, the right contractors, and so forth to get things in place. Challenge is one that is obvious to everyone is the skill base. There's a high demand for STEM programs and IT people and cybersecurity people, and you're all competing with each other and so forth. And the depth sometimes is not there. So you need to figure out ways to work with industry and government working together to try to get the kind of skill base you need for this thing. Competing priorities are a challenge, because of that issue. Involving the mission. Cultural changes. We know people are just resistant to change, but this requires change. And then when we talked about vision, some of the things I heard is what's important is getting the strategy right up front. Make sure that you've got everything lined up before you embark upon your particular program. And then I heard about partnering across the organization and how important that is, that the CIO and the IT people partner across the organization.